Welcome to Strongbrook Radio, leveling up with today's thought leaders. What you're about to hear are powerful insights, entertaining stories, and life-changing principles from some of the most innovative minds in the world today. This is Strongbrook Radio.
All right, everybody, this is Stephen Michael Miller. Welcome again here to Strongbrook Radio. So glad to have you here with us again this week. If this is your first time with us, we want to say welcome. If you've been here before, we want to say welcome as well to you. So glad to have you back. And as always, we're here to talk to just amazing individuals who have figured things out. They had problems, they had issues, they had roadblocks in their own lives that they were able to then overcome. And now they're on a journey to go out and help so many others all around them, all across the nation and all across the world here. This is what we do in the Mentoring Network. And so glad to have you with us today. I've got just an amazing individual here on the show with us today. Before I bring her on, I definitely want to give her a proper introduction here. This is Beverly Fells Jones. Now, Beverly Fells Jones, she's certified in hypnosis, is an international speaker and radio personality. She's an advisor and seminar leader on the topics of intuitive memory, mindfulness, willful manifesting, and the secrets of the subconscious mind. She's the author of 3 best-selling books, including Manifesting the Life You Want and Christianity, The Law of Attraction, and The One Command. Now, Beverly, who's known as, the silver fox of consciousness, I just love that, enables her clients to realize real change mentally and physically through her seminars, workshops, and retreats. Beverly Fells Jones, her past and present experiences as a wife, mother, one of IBM's top performers for 30 years, and Hewlett-Packard for over a decade, has prepared her to be an advisor, consultant, and confidant to individuals and companies who want to perform to their highest capacity. Her principal area of concentration in is in personal development, and she develops and delivers cutting-edge training and facilitates the advancement of individuals by the thousands worldwide. Now, Beverly helps you learn and apply techniques to your life's desires. So hopefully everyone that's on the show today that's listening in, hopefully you've got your pen and paper ready because you're going to want to definitely take some notes. She assists in clearing away stumbling blocks to success, and is a master at peeling away the layers of limiting thoughts that keep a person in the same place. She's using proven processes that tap into the alpha and theta brainwave states of mind, and you learn how to become the master of your own destiny. Now, Beverly helps to empower you to change your mental programming by neutralizing the negative voice and then reprogramming your mind towards success. And this change opens you to the potential of creating a new reality for yourself. So within a short amount of time of working with her, you begin to live the life from a completely new perspective, naturally and easily. We could say so much more, but definitely just want to go ahead and bring on Beverly Jones. Are you there?
Yes, I am. Good morning.
Hey, Beverly, good morning. Great to have you on the show today. Thanks for taking some time with us.
Well, thank you for having me.
Oh, my pleasure. So, Beverly, first of all, thank you so much. I'm so grateful to have you as part of the Mentoring Network right now. You're such an amazing individual. I had a chance to meet you out in Dallas, Texas at an event that we met at, and that was just a phenomenal opportunity to get to know you a little bit, and definitely was looking forward to bringing you on to our radio show. I'd love to maybe, if I could ask you this starting question, or have you first of all address this. Everyone comes to these roadblocks, like I said, kind of in the intro. Everyone has things that they need to overcome. Can you talk about maybe what that turning point was for you, where you said, hey, I'm ready to do things differently. I'm ready to create maybe my life differently. What was that for you? What did that look like?
Well, there are many of those areas that happened in my life. I was in a very stressful marriage. My husband was an alcoholic, and I had to decide whether being in that marriage and dealing with the things people have to deal with when they're living with an alcoholic, how was I going to handle it? I had a son that I needed to take care of, and So I had to, like, draw the line in the sand and say, I need to take care of myself. I need to take care of my son. And I started doing personal development, learning how to think well, to make good decisions. So if there was one area that I could say that helped me start making my change, was realizing that I had to take care of myself and my son and not be dictated within a marriage that was not working.
I think so many people face that kind of tragedy and hardship, and not specifically, obviously, what you went through, but different kinds of things where they come to that point in life where they say, okay, is this what I want? Is this what I deserve? Is this all I'm worth? And it sounds like you went through something similar. Tell me, this moved you into the realm of personal development, and now obviously you're helping thousands all across the world to better and improve their lives. What do you feel is your mission in the work that you provide for people?
My mission, really, as I see it, is that I want people to know that they have the power within them. They have been given that power to change their life. They have the power inside of them already to become whomever they truly want to become, but they have to recognize it. They have to recognize the thought processes that are keeping them from saying, I'm good at this. I can do this. I can start this business. I can be an investor. I can, open up a business, whatever it is. But we all have those words inside of us that says, I can't do this. Well, 4 out of 5 businesses fail in the first year. Well, what if I fail? So we have these programs running inside of us. And what I want to do is help people recognize what those programs are and then change them to, I can do this business. So I'm going to be that 1 out of 5 that's going to be successful. I have the capability within me. And if I don't have the tools, I know I can go out and get the tools that will help me.
I love that. And what you said, it brought something to mind for me that in the last maybe 6 months or a year, I've really been saying to other people a lot, saying to myself a lot, as I go about and as we're spreading the word of what we're doing here with the Mentoring Network. And that is, I believe that fear is nothing more than putting faith in what you don't want.
Absolutely.
So faith, we always think of faith as this positive, great thing, but the reality is we are such powerful beings and such amazingly adept at creating the life that we want or don't want, that whatever we put our energy to is what we're going to get. And when we are constantly in that fear, we are literally putting faith in getting things that we actually don't necessarily want.
Absolutely.
And because of that, we're going to get it. So we need to change that thought process. I love that, what you said there.
Yes. Well, 9 out of 10 people actually live their life unconsciously.
No doubt. Yeah.
Right? So by starting to pay attention to those things, like you said, being in fear, well, what do you want instead? So that's when the first question that people should ask themselves when they say these things is, what do I want instead? So, you hear the statistics about people and failing in their business. Well, what do I want instead? Well, I want to be the succeeding one, right? Or I'm unworthy. Well, why do you think you're unworthy, right? Do you want to feel worthy? Yes, I do. Well, let's talk about how that happens.
I love that. Yeah, no, that's fantastic. So I want to talk a little bit about the book that you wrote, one of them anyway, first of all, Christianity, the Law of Attraction, and the One Command. What led you to write that book?
Well, back when The Secret came out, the movie, the book,
yeah,
a lot of people were introduced to that. And I first saw it introduced when Rhonda Byrne was on the Oprah show. And I just said, oh, it's that stuff called the Law of Attraction. And I turned it off and left. And my girlfriend made me read the book. And that's like, she sat me down and said, read it. And I wanted to read it till I saw the words Law of Attraction.
Yeah.
I did that. She said, keep going. And that particular reading that book changed my life in the sense that I started researching. I said, if it's in this book and they say it's true, let me find some other things. And so I found some other articles and I found some other books. And I found this book called The One Command by Asara Lovejoy. And I started reading it. But the question came, as a Christian, could I do this stuff? Because this is that new agey kind of stuff.
This is that hokey stuff that weird people in a hotel talk about, right?
Right. So I started doing the research, and then I talked to Asara. I said, there's many Christians that won't do this because they think that it's not something we're supposed to do. And I started researching the scriptures, and the minute, and you understand this, the minute I decided and said, I'm going to write this book,
yeah,
Spirit started sending people to me with scriptures, with books, with things. And each time I would step back and say, okay, I got to do something else now, I'd get this push. And so it took me about 2 years to write it. But I am so glad, and many people are so glad it's completed.
Oh, no doubt about that. I mean, that for people that are that do have a religious background, that are faithful Christian, there is oftentimes that conflict because, the whole part about the law of attraction and The Secret is they talk always about this universe, right, that the universe is going to do it for you. And if you are of faith, well, then you don't believe that the universe is going to bring it. You believe that God is in Jesus Christ. And so the conversation, it's got to be a little different. And I love that you were able to step out there and help bring some understanding to a very true and real law that does not in any way oppose Christianity, at least in my belief as well.
Absolutely. And when the term universe is used, they are actually referring to God.
Yeah.
It is like I tell them, it's like you can call it universe, God, Jehovah, the creator of all that is.
Yeah.
We know we're talking about the creator of the universe, or the creator of all of us.
No, I love that. Thank you. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there. But
go ahead.
So what were the challenges in writing this book? I mean, obviously you said it took you 2 years and you were kind of back and forth at times and you felt that divine intervention and that you were led to different people and scriptures and thought processes. What were some of the challenges there in maybe taking you through some of the research that you were going through, maybe even the literary or psychological or maybe even logistical problems that you had to face in bringing this book to life?
Well, what I understand is that when you are given a mission, the pathway is given to you. And as I was writing and getting information, I was gathering all kinds of information. I was, getting books and reading and it was just there and it was in my computer. And I said, how am I going to put all this stuff together? And then I was introduced to creating my own internet radio show. And what happened is each week I would script it and it would take me 3 hours to script the show. But what was happening was I was writing the book as I was scripting the show.
I love that.
So that happened. And then it was, well, how do you put this book together? Because most books are written and people read them from front to back. And the way I was writing this, it was like, well, how do I put these in order? And I just didn't understand. And so I went into meditation and prayer and I said, okay, how do I put this together? And it said, you put the first 3 or 4 chapters together, they read that. The rest of the book, they will read a chapter wherever they need it. So whenever they would need that particular piece. So one chapter is on limiting beliefs, one setting your intention. Another one is dealing with gratitude and thankfulness. So you don't have to read those in order, but you need the first 3 or 4 to understand the process.
Got it. I love about, one thing that I love about your book is you talk a lot about vision boards and really how that can improve and enhance your life. And what I'm wondering is, why are vision boards so important? Because I've heard about vision boards from a number of different people, and everyone's got a little bit of a different take. Can you tell us about your ideas and thoughts on vision boards and how that can help people improve their lives?
Well, Vision boards are really a way to concentrate what your desire is. It gives it a look. So when you're asking or you're thinking about this one thing that you want to accomplish, and so many times we've seen people put houses and cars and those kinds of things on their board. So let's just talk about a particular place you want to live. Well, you might have a general idea of what it's going to look like. But with a vision board, you'll find like a floor plan of an apartment that you want or the house that you want, and you put it on the board, and now it's in your head. Well, what I've learned is that in meditation and visioning, when we are talking to God, when we are talking to our guides and angels that are here to assist us, the vision or the visual is what they work from. We can say a lot of things, but it's like using the word night. Are you talking when the sky is dark, or are you talking about the guy that's coming to my rescue? Right? Or see.
I like that.
I see you, or I see the ocean. So when you're using that vision board, it's a way to concentrate and visualize so that you can convey exactly what you want. Have you seen the movie The War Room yet? Or
I've heard about it, and just recently I was with a group. We were on a kind of a big group date, and they were talking about it. So no, I haven't seen it yet, but definitely would like to.
Well, the War Room is saying that you've got a closet, a prayer closet. And what struck me about that is on the wall are the statements of what they wanted, clear statements of what they desired. And with them were scriptures, or there were pictures of what they desired. And I said, the war room is a vision room, right?
Yeah.
It is a vision board of what you desire. So in that movie, they demonstrated what a vision board can do and what it looks like.
Great. Yeah, I love that. And so so in the book, you talk about the vision boards. Do you take people actually through a specific way of how they can create their vision board as well?
Yes, I did. I had just some steps, and, I also talked about life scripting with their.
Yeah, what is that? What is a life script?
Life scripting is, how do you want your life to look? Right? So a movie or a television play has a language, right?
Yeah.
A computer script is a set of instructions and commands.
Yeah.
So with your life script, you're going to create both an internal and external idea of what you want your life to look like. So when you're looking at it, you discover what you are, your current story. Everybody's got a story, right? You meet your friends and they've got a story. Oh, I had a horrible day. My day was like this and this happened. Or so-and-so mistreated me. Well, why don't you change that story to say, I had a wonderful day. I got to go to lunch. So change your story to the positive things that happen in your life. I was coaching one lady, and she was talking about how everybody at work was against her. And I had her take a look at it, and I said, well, is it against you, or it's the way they think about themselves? Just turn it around, because one of the things I've learned is it's not about, when people act, it's not about you, it's about them, and it's about what they think and how they believe when they're working with you or in the world.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So tell me, who do you feel would benefit from working with you, and why?
Well, people who want to really change their life, and they recognize that they're struggling with, one, their faith. They feel that their prayers aren't being answered. Two, if they are they've heard about this thing called the law of attraction, but they say it doesn't work for them, then I can help them see where it's going on every day of your life. Whatever comes out of your mouth shows up.
Yeah.
If you want to just put your life on another level, you want to move from where you are today, wherever that is, whether you are living at home with your parents, you're living in your vehicle. I took one woman from living in a long-term hotel and we shifted her to, she's now in her own apartment. She now has her own car, but we had to shift the way she thought about herself and the world around her. So people who are looking to make that leap, if you're in a business and you feel stuck, then I can help you make those moves. But the idea is to identify those self-sabotaging beliefs that are keeping you stuck. That's like we talked about earlier. And you talked about fear being your faith because you've got the faith in the fear. Yeah. And I love that. I'm going to use that. Can I borrow that?
Of course, yeah.
But the idea being is that we want you, and when I say you, I'm talking to people listening to us, the you to say, I am able to change my life and become the person that I always knew I could be. Even if I've got people in my ear saying, you can't do that. You know that. You've been in this neighborhood all your life. You can't get out of there. Or you're in this position and you can't get out. I, in my marriage, felt that I couldn't get out, but I stayed for my son. And when the time came, I was out and happy and creating a new life. So wherever you are, you don't have to stay there.
Yeah. You know, Beverly, you know what's so interesting? As you were talking there, I just got this little aha moment that I wanted to share with our listeners, because I think this is really poignant in what you help people to do and how you help them to move past blocks. Our negative self, right? We always have, we each have these two different beings, I guess. You know, we've got our negative self and our positive self, and our negative self always thinks that they can tell the future. Have you noticed that?
Yes.
Now, our negative self will always tell us that we can't do this, we can't do that, as if it is definitive, and as if they've got a crystal ball in front of them. They're reading someone's cards or something, right? They're telling the future, and that's our negative self. But when it comes to our positive self, it is so hard for us to see that we can also in the future do things. And I think that this is interesting. It's something that we need to point out, because neither our future or our negative selves has a crystal ball. But if we will put that faith in our negative selves, or on the other hand, if we will choose to put our faith in our positive selves, we will then give the power to either one, right? So, and that is where choice and accountability come through, and agency is we have the choice to do what we want to do. We just sometimes don't see it. We're blocked, we're blinded, which is where you were talking about those limiting beliefs and helping to overcome those things.
Well, we were given free will to make the choice.
No doubt.
So we have to recognize, and I'm going to give them three things. We've got to recognize our inspired actions.
Yeah.
Right? When we are given that thing to do and we go, oh, I can't do that. Or it's like me in the book, right? Oh, no, you want me to do what? Right? And then I go, okay, I went to a church that I hadn't gone to before. I don't know. I just needed to go. And there were scriptures. That sermon was for me. Right? So you do the inspired actions. You develop your intuitive memory. And I say that because we all have intuition. But we haven't learned how to know when it's talking to us, or we ignore it. So that's one of the things I help people do, is develop their intuitive memory. And then third is just taking command of your life and use what we have been given, and to consciously create the life we want, and actually train our subconscious mind to work for us consciously.
Wow. So I love that. Thank you so much. Your latest book, I want to talk about touch on here briefly as well. Your latest book is Manifesting the Life That You Want: Prime Directives to Abundant Living. First of all, my question is, what are prime directives, and why are they so important? Actually, when I say that, it keeps on making me think of Spock, on Star Trek, holding his hands up, prime directives, or I don't know, something like that.
Well, yeah, the prime directive really, it's a perfect term. And yes, I'm a Star Trekkie person.
Oh, yeah, I was wondering. I was going to ask you that.
Yes, absolutely. And so the prime directive there is a philosophy. And there they said you couldn't interfere with other worlds. You couldn't help them move forward technologically. You had to stay away and let their natural evolution happen, is there. And so before I used the term prime directive, I made sure it wasn't trademarked.
There you go.
Right? But for me, prime as an adjective is of the first importance. It demands your full attention.
Yeah.
And directive means an authoritative instruction. So using prime directive, it means a strong order or command to be used as a rule. And so when you're looking at taking control of your life, you need to command yourself. You need to ask in a commanding way for what you desire. And so, if I may, the scripture says, as you have believed, let it be done to you, or ask for what you want, and it'll be given to you. But a lot of people don't realize that. So the prime directive is actually a command that I put together because I've grown since I've written the first book. So with the prime directive, I basically say, I command, I know how I do something, right?
Yeah.
So if I'm looking for trust, or I'm looking to manifest, I command, I know how I trust in my capacity to create and manifest. Where what we're doing is actually getting to our subconscious mind, who is the one that drives us every day. I tell everyone that your subconscious mind makes the decisions for you before your conscious mind says yes or no. Your subconscious mind is designed to protect you and to lead you based on your beliefs and what you believe. So when people do affirmations and they say do them 100 times, well, what it is it's working to get to your subconscious mind. Well, the prime directive within a meditation is designed to get to your subconscious mind now, without having to say affirmations 100 times, without having to put those stickies on your mirror and go through them all the time. Because you've heard, put the sticky on your mirror with what you want, put it in your car, put it in your kitchen.
Right.
So every time you see it, you recognize it. Well, it's designed to what I want to know, dumb down your conscious mind, make your conscious mind so bored with it that it gets to your subconscious. But through the prime directive, we go into a meditative state, we say the command, and now we're talking directly to our subconscious. And we're making that change, and we're making the request to go out and be fulfilled for us.
That's powerful. Can you repeat those three things again? I think I wrote them down, but I just want to make sure that I got them here. And for any of our listeners as well that have got their pens and papers ready, they may want to hear that one more time. What are the three? You said I command, and what else?
Okay, so I command is the first part of it. And then you say, what is it that you want, right? So basically it's I command, I know, or how. So you know when you were in school, you had the who, what, when, where, and how questions.
Yeah.
Okay, so I command, I know how, or who, or what, and whatever it is that you desire. So a lot of people are looking to make more money each month, right? So let's say somebody wants to get to $5,000 a month.
Sure.
So I command, I know how. I have an income of $5,000 a month. And it is so. Simple as that. So
That's powerful.
the statement has to be positive, right? No negative stuff here. In the present tense. So even though you know it's going to be in the future, it's in the present tense because there is no past, there is no future, there is only now. It must be complete, concrete, and comprehensively defined. So it has to be exactly what you desire. So it has to be simple.
Yeah. And you mentioned
And-
one more thing that I think I heard. You also said I trust, correct?
Right. That was in an example of one that I was looking at. I trust in the fact that I can manifest.
Got it.
So that's in the chapter on spirituality and trust.
Well, great.
Or
Well,
in the trust chapter.
Yeah, that's fantastic. So tell me, what do you think separates and distinguishes you from your contemporaries?
You know, I trust all my contemporaries, and everyone has a way or a method of teaching. What distinguishes me is I continue to look at what it was like when I got started, when I first was learning. I'm a teacher.
Yeah.
And I'm not a teacher as in high school. I'm a teacher for IBM and a teacher for HP. And I taught computers from turning them on to how they worked inside, how the software actually worked. So when I'm working with people, I am looking to take them from kindergarten, if they need to be, all the way up to college. Or I can start where they are in junior high school, or they've been through a lot of training in their high school, but they still have questions. So for me, I work from where you are, and I do not put you in a box. So many of my colleagues have a certain program and they have you do this work and then this work and then this work, and they move you forward that way. I take you by the hand and I lead you, and I don't take you the round peg and try to put you in my square hole. You are the round peg, and I'm going to create the round hole for you and take you where you need to be. I think that's the, certifications or all of those things are wonderful, but I work with you as the individual, the person who you are, and I listen to where you are, what your desires are, and then we work together. And the other thing is, I don't let you get away with anything.
Accountability. That's great.
I'm like a sergeant. If you tell me to do something, I'm not going to coddle you. I'm going to be like, spare the rod, spoil the child. That's the type of person I am, because that's what I desire. And I fired several coaches because they wouldn't hold me to task.
Yeah.
And that's what I do.
That makes sense. And that's so necessary. I think so often we're our own worst enemy. We give ourselves leniencies, and we often surround ourselves with people that also do the same for us, which doesn't help us to accomplish what we want.
It doesn't help us move. It doesn't help us move forward. And we just stay stuck in where we are. And then we say, well, I spent all that money and I still haven't gotten anything. Well, part of it is you have to do the work too. I mean, I can help you, I can lead you, but you also have to do the work in order to move your life forward.
I love that. Well, we've got some time that's our time is wrapping down here, and wanted to cover just another quick little thing here. Obviously, you're part of the Strongbrook Mentoring Network. We're so grateful to have you in. What information can people find in the vault with you? What are you putting in the vault?
Well, I haven't put it in. What I'm going to be putting in the vault is how to break free of your limiting money beliefs or your beliefs about money. So that's going to be a course that's going to allow you to see how you think about it consciously and subconsciously. I'm looking at it being 3 lessons, and one that has a self-directed field trip in it.
Wonderful.
So that'll be fun. And then I'm looking at doing one on memory. So memory and intuition. So they'll
fantastic.
be able to find that in the vault when it.
Great. That's wonderful. Yeah. So for everyone that's on the show today, make sure that you take a look, take your pen out, make sure you're taking some notes, and remember that Beverly's going to she'll have two things in the vault here. Again, how to break free of your limiting beliefs about money, and then also how to use your intuition to improve your memory. Beverly, are there any final words that you'd like to leave with our listeners today?
Yes, that I want them to know that they have the power to change their life. But even more importantly, if they put in place that prime directive, they have the power to direct their subconscious mind to work for their good.
Wow, that is very powerful. Again, thank you so much for everything that you're doing. Thank you for being part of the Mentoring Network. We not only appreciate it, but are so grateful to have you in. Such a powerful individual that's changing the lives of hundreds and even thousands all across the world. So Beverly, thank you for being on the show with us today.
Well, thank you so much for having me. It has been a pleasure.
Thank you. All right, everybody. Well, this is Stephen Michael Miller with Strongbrook Radio. So glad to have you with us again this week. If this was your first week and you enjoyed what you heard and took some notes and are ready to change your life, then make sure that you get out there and you share this also with other people. You now have the app, and if you have anybody out there that has a smartphone, Apple or Android, doesn't matter to me, go ahead and share that app with them. Help them understand the wonderful beauty of improving your life on a daily basis and reaching out and learning from some of the top thought leaders in the world today. So glad to have Beverly Jones on with us today, talking about changing your mindset, improving your mind, creating the life that you want. Just an unbelievable individual, and it's just been a phenomenal show today. So thank you so much again. Everyone else, thank you for being on and listening and coming in and tuning in every single week. And with that, we'll talk to you next week.